Hey everyone, how you doing? This is Amon Green, Green Bay Packers all-time leader in rushing, and you're watching Packers Total Access Live, your daily source for Packer content. Go Pack, go!
What's up, guys? Welcome into Packers Total Access. My name is Clayton. You can check us out over at patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access. Also find this podcast form wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, MySpace, wherever you get your podcasts. All right. You can find this. Just search
AOL Music.
Yeah. Everything in between. Just search Packers Total Access or Packer Fan Total Access. Should pull it up for you immediately. We're joined alongside Tim and Emilio. A little live stream for you all as the combine is currently going on. The big boys in the trenches, the defensive tackles, just got through running the 40s and doing several drills. There's a bunch of names that decided not to run the 40-yard dash. We'll kind of talk about them and why they're missing. I think the edge defenders are about to run right now and get some of their workouts in. So we're going to bring you guys the fastest defensive tackle, show you who performed in the 40-yard dash, who are the freaks this year. We'll also hit on a little RAS cards as some of those are starting to file in from Math Bomb over on X. And with the defensive tackle position, we may have time to dive into the Caleb Proctor scouting report. Really, really interesting stuff there as he had a great day, I feel like. And then, of course, at the backside, if some of these edge defenders 40 times start to fall in place, we'll go ahead and dive into some of that as well. But before we do, if you guys would do that YouTube stuff for us, hit like, hit subscribe. If this is your first time tuning into PTA, welcome. Thank you for making us a part of your combine experience. We are not experts. We're not insiders. We're not media members. We're fans, just like you, talking Packers football on a daily basis. So if you like that type of content, hit like, subscribe, click the bell icon so you catch everything we do here moving forward. Y'all ready to jump into some 40 times here, gents? I'm excited about this, man.
Let's get it. Let's see who's fast and who's slow.
All right. Well, if I was out there, I'd be running about a 5.3, I would have been somewhere in that range.
I'm shooting for under 10 seconds. 40, if I can run a sub 10, I'm all good.
Tim, he said 40s time. I thought he was talking Jacobs coming, or you got that. He's got that beacon for 40s time. I'm telling you.
Here you go. Let's hit refresh once here. This is over at NFL.com where they are updating all of the numbers. 40-yard dashes for defensive tackles. Mr. Zane Durant out of Penn State ran away with it today. 4.75 40 for him. Big old boys running really, really fast. Second on this list. You guys know I was grinning like a possum in a dumpster. Caleb Proctor from southeastern Louisiana. 4.79 40 is hopefully that's the official time. We'll see if it's official or unofficial. It's got the check mark. I imagine it is. Next on the list is Gracen Halton from Oklahoma at a 4.82. We talked about him earlier today, right, Emilio?
Yep.
DeMonte Capehart, 4.85. Look at my Kentucky boy here, David Gusta. All right. Every time I read his name, I don't know if it's Gusta or Gusta. When I say Gusta, I immediately think of Ratatouille and Gusteau, right?
Yeah.
Anyone can cook. You know what I'm saying? One of my favorite movies, by the way. I love Ratatouille. So
classic.
I walk around, draw one of those little French mustaches on my face. You know what I mean? Get the little curl with a marker. Every time we pop that on TV for sure.
I'm surprised you know it, Clay.
Hey, man. Come on, dude.
Yeah, that's a classic, man.
Any movie about food, your boy is all about. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way it is. So you see the chins. So David Gusta out of Kentucky, 4.88. You got Jackie Marshall, 4.88 out of Baylor. Albert Regas out of Texas A&M with a 4.88. Now it kind of drops off a bit. We've talked about Caleb Banks, right? Caleb Banks on our big board was listed as the second best defensive tackle in the 23 spot. He landed at a 5.04. Then you got Chris McClellan out of Missouri, 5.05. Bryson Eason out of Tennessee, 5.09. Nick Barrett out of South Carolina, 5.10. Brandon Cleveland out of NC State, 5.12. Cameron Ball out of Arkansas, 5.13. And Lee Hunter with a 5.18 out of Texas Tech. We talked about how he seems to be on the Packers' radar. Listen, it's a big old boy. I don't think this is going to drop him down significantly, but it did hurt his RAS, and we always run it through the filter of, would we be willing to take an RAS that's outside of an 8? In some cases, in this case, it's probably going to land outside of a 7 easy, maybe even down in the 5 or the 4 range. We'll see how it all shakes out. Tim Keenan out of Alabama at a 5.31. Now, let me mention really quick that the defensive tackles who did not run the 40 time earlier today, and we'll try to do it in order of kind of where they sit on the board. Peter Woods decided not worth it to run the 40 time. Caden McDonald did not run it. My boy Kristen Miller did not run it. Chris Inn's guy, Big Citrus, decided not to run it. Darrell Jackson, who's on the Packers' radar, already met with him. He did not run. Dante Corleone did not run. Skylar Gill Howard did not run. Rayshon Benny didn't. And Xavier Harris did not run. So it's kind of bittersweet here, Emilio. We wanted to see Skylar Gill Howard, right? We wanted to see Darrell Jackson. I think everybody wanted to see Big Citrus run. Kristen Miller, I feel like he would have a good 40 time. He chose not to do it as well. And, of course, Caden McDonald, Peter Woods. Peter Woods, I think, is probably – he's seeing his stock drop a little bit here lately. You know, kind of the buzz is wearing off. I think he's worried, hey, man, we don't want to try to do too much here and set ourselves back, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. You wouldn't want to chance it at this point, right? You've been riding the high for a while now. I wouldn't. I mean, if he showed up like a 5.5, they would not be happy with that. So let's just worry about that once the team picks you.
Yeah. What do you think about this, Tim? When you look at this list, man, going back to the top. I mean, Zane Durant ran away with the show, but Caleb Proctor, dude, he just continues to check the boxes. The only thing you have to knock Caleb Proctor on is that small school, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to getting to a breakdown on him too, hopefully, if we got time today. But, looking at the top, crop, really, defensive tackles, I don't think the 40 time is going to necessarily make or break your draft stock, but it certainly will help you, I think, in the long run. And, the guys that didn't run today, again, I don't know if that's going to drop them down the boards. Maybe, maybe not. I know us as fans, we want to get times on everyone. So now we're going to have to, search around and see if we can get some times on some of these guys. But bottom line, I mean, we were talking about Peter Woods. I mean, 6'3", 310, that's a big frame. You got your whole career, your whole NFL life ahead of you. I'm not mad that you didn't run. You don't want to tweak something going into the draft.
It's true.
These are not receivers or running backs, corners. These are D tackles, right?
Very true.
It's easy for us to sit on the couch eating our Cheetos and go, he should run, knowing that they could lose millions of dollars, right, if it goes south. Emilio, what do you think of this list so far, man? What's sticking out to you the most?
Yeah, like Tim said, I love that we got, two of them there under, 4.8, and then you get a few under 5.0. You got to be happy with that. I don't think you can be mad at that. And then, again, we just got to take into consideration how much poundage they're at. Where are we at? Are we high 200s or are we, low 300s? And then just take it with a little bit of, grain of salt. When I was listening to DJ, he was talking about, or it might have been DJ and Buck, but they were talking about how the 10-yard split in the 40 has a nice correlation. I don't remember the exact words, but a nice correlation to pass rush, effective or efficiency in the NFL. So they have a little bit of correlation with that. So I think that may be something we just take a peek at, keep in mind when we're diving into it.
Yeah, appreciate you bringing that up. Here are the 10-yard splits. And again, this is the first 10 yards of the 40-yard dash, right? The first 10-yard portion of that's being laser time, right? So Zane Durant still stole the show, 166. So the acceleration off the line of scrimmage checks the box, right? David Gusta jumps up to the 2 spot at 168. Jackie Marshall out of Baylor jumps up to 3rd at 169. Caleb Proctor tied with him at 3rd, 169. So the 10-yard split checks, the 40-yard dash checks. And again, the 40-yard dash, it's important for offensive linemen and defensive linemen because it typically judges how quick your feet are, right? If you can get your foot down, one after another as quick as possible, you're going to have a good 40-yard dash. So the footwork with Caleb Proctor seems to check out pretty good. And the fact that you got that 10-yard split right there in that range of 169, I think that's a great thing for him. So he's going to have that quickness coming off the ball for sure. Nick Barrett, 170. Gracen Halton, 170. DeMonte Capehart, 172. Albert Regas, 172. Caleb Banks, 176. Brandon Cleveland, 178. Bryson Eason, 178, Cameron Ball, 179, Lee Hunter, 179, Chris McClellan, 180, and Tim Keenan out of Alabama, 184. So those are the 10-yard splits. Let's go around the horn with that real quick. I feel like another box is checked here for Caleb Proctor when it comes to the 10-yard split, Emilio. What do you think, man?
Clay, if you could pull it up, it's kind of crazy. I was just looking at the 2026 DT prospects, the career production, the pass rush percentage for Halton. He was 11% green, 11.8% green for win rate and pass rush reps. Caleb Proctor was a green at 9.1% and 8.7%. Durant was green at an 8.2, 7.9. It's kind of crazy. You see a little bit of that. But those are just those little nuggets. So, hey, maybe anything under 1.7 or 1.75 or something like that, you maybe take a look at 1.72. You know, we kind of maybe refine that and maybe give them a little asterisk or something for that.
Makes sense. Makes sense. What do you think here, Tim, when you look at the 10-yard split? Man, anything you want to add to that conversation there, Bob?
Yeah, I would agree with what Emilio just said. I was thinking 1.75, you know, anything at or below that, that's a good indicator of, you know, guys that should be on the radar. You know, again, not to demean the 40 times of, you know, the big dogs, but certainly the split is where you really get to the meat and potatoes. Like you said, you know how quick these feet can move. And, you know, you're asking them to move for what, 3 to 5 to 7 seconds at a time during a play. So that split time, anything under that 1.75, really under 1.8, makes me feel really good about these big dogs.
I like it.
Completely agree. Is there any other drills? Because I don't think we actually had the vertical and everything as well, right? So let's just hit those real quick. Let's go to vertical jump. Leading the way, Gracen, Halton, 36.50 there, 36 and a half inches, I should say. Albert Regas, 34 inches. DeMonte Capehart, 33.5. Zane Durant, 33.5. Caleb Proctor, 33. So Caleb Proctor basically in the top 5 of everything, right? And again, when you're looking at the vertical jump, you couple that with broad jump, and that's your explosion grade, right? So all these guys having really good explosion in terms of the vertical jump. Cameron Ball, 32. Caleb Banks, 32. David Gusta, 32. Tyler Onyedem, 32. Nick Barrett, 31.5. Bryson Eason, 30.5. Tim Keenan, 30. Chris McClellan, 29.5. You've got Gary Smith, the third out of UCLA at 28. Devin Eastern at 27.5. I think the Packers actually met with him at some point. And then Lee Hunter, just in the bottom and everything, right? 21.5. And again, he's a large human being, don't get me wrong, but man, this can't be a good thing for Lee Hunter, right? Who knows? Maybe he drops in the draft now and he falls right in our lap, right?
At 21, that's tough, Clay. That's
a big drop off, right?
If he's going to be the lowest of the entire combine, I mean, if every O lineman jumps over 25, I would be just not worried, but another asterisk next to that saying a little bit of a concern there.
Yeah, no, that's real, right? I mean, you're talking about needing to get the hands up, bat that ball at the line. If you don't have a little bit of hops, I mean, what are we going to do?
Eric Sutherland in the chat said, just did my measurables, boys. 5'4", 22-inch arms, 5-inch hands. My stock's on the rise.
I'd love to see Eric's vert and 10-yard split.
Go out there and film it. Hey, I just want to say this for everybody in the Patreon group. Anybody who wants to film themselves running a 40-yard dash, throw it in there, man. I would love to see it. That would be absolutely awesome. So there you go.
Just put that link up there, patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access.
Tim trying to win America's Funniest Home Videos this week.
If you're not there, just email it. What's it, PackerFanTotalAccess@gmail.com? Just, I want to see those videos. Send them over.
Please don't send those to my email. I beg all of y'all, don't do that. All right. Let's go to the broad jump real quick, and then we'll move on to a little bit of RAS data. Albert Regas, 9'8". Where was he at in the vertical? Second. His explosion grade going to be through the roof, right? So, again, there's that. And then broad jump, Caleb Banks is second at 9'6", tied for seconds. Gracen Halton's helped himself today, hasn't he? Big time. So that's exciting. Caleb Proctor, fourth, 9'5". Yeah. And Zane Durant, 9'4". Bryson Eason, 9'4". Devin Eastern, 9'4". Tyler Onyedem, 9'3". Cameron Ball, 9'1". Nick Barrett, 9 foot flat. Chris McClellan, 9. DeMonte Capehart, 8'11". Lee Hunter, 8'4", and Tim Keenan, 8'4". So there you go, Lee Hunter.
So again, towards the bottom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not a good look, man. We'll see how it shakes out. Now, again, man, you turn on the tape and you go, oh, I could care less about the vertical, right? But these things are going to matter in the process. There's no two ways about it. So I don't think they did any 3-cone yet, right? No, I think that's tomorrow. Maybe shuttle, same thing. Oh, we got some shuttle. We got some shuttle times here. Jackie Marshall leading the way in the shuttle drill, 4.68. Caleb Proctor second, 4.71. Let's go.
He is. You hear his name a lot at the top, man, and it's not. He's obviously coming from a smaller school, but if you can keep those numbers up when you're going against the big boys, everybody else is getting drafted too. I'm for that.
Absolutely, man. Cameron Ball 4.76, Gracen Halton 4.79, Albert Regas 4.85, Nick Barrett 4.91, Bryson Eason 5. That's all we've got right now. I don't know if that's all that ran it or it's all that's reported, but as it sits right now, Caleb Proctor, Tim, I'm excited about it, man. The only knock we got on this guy is he played for a small school. I'm going to keep coming back to it because, man, just remember that name. Would not be surprised if he rises on draft boards and then we look up in 2 or 3 years on Sundays and going, damn, Caleb Proctor turned into a solid football player.
Yeah, not to be confused with Caden Proctor, the O tackle out of Bama. But yeah, Proctor is one of those guys kind of on the short list. You know, Regis is another name that comes to mind. I mean, a few guys that kind of helped themselves out, you know, were early in the combine, but man, this looks good for him. And like you said, if that's the only knock is he went to a small school, that might be a guy you roll the dice on in this draft class.
It could be, man. No doubt about it. So if you guys are watching this video back later, let us know in the comments. How do you feel about the 40 times, the shuttle, everything in between, man? I think we hit pretty much everything, right? There was no 3-cone. So let us know your opinion on the broad jump, the vertical, the 10-yard split, everything with these defensive tackles. Who's your favorite now that day one of the combine drills are in the bank? Let us know in the comments. Make sure you hit like, subscribe, click the bell icon as well. You guys have been crushing it with the YouTube comments and hitting the like button for us. We greatly, greatly appreciate all that. All right, let's move it along now and talk a little RAS. That sound good to you, boys?
Please.
Let's get Gutey's pick up there. You know, love some RAS scores.
All right, so what we're going to do is hop over to Math Bomb's Twitter account. Now, he's going to have this thumb firing off in real time here. You may get – I don't see any edge defenders yet, so this is just mainly going to be defensive tackles. Now, I think we all got a pretty good idea of how these are going to fall, right, based off of the numbers we just talked about. So we're just going to go in no particular order other than what he has tweeted most recently, okay? And again, actually, let me try this one more time here. There we go. It's a little bit better. So here is what we got. Tim Keenan. All right, Tim Keenan, obviously defensive tackle out of Alabama. So far, 2.96. Not going to get it done, right? Not going to get it done. Tim Keenan is lower on our board. I will say that. I don't think he's nowhere near the top 100, so he's significantly lower. But again, we've kind of talked about why. The height, Emilio, 6'1", 327 pounds. The weight's fine. The height, obviously, in the red there. The broad jump in the red. The vertical's in the yellow. But the 40-yard dash of 5.32, the 20-yard split of 3.03, and the 10-yard split of 1.84, all scoring in the 2s and 3 there as well. Tim Keenan not helping his stock at all, man.
No, he's 154 on the board. I don't see a little RAS bonus for him there. So looks like he's going to be hanging around there, and everybody else is going to be sliding up ahead of him.
Yeah, we got Nick McSwain in the house. Good to see you, Nick. Hopefully you're doing well, buddy. Glad to see you in here, man. Moving along to Lee Hunter. All right, Lee Hunter.
Oof.
Sinking like a rock, boy. 3.72 is the RAS. His height at 6'3" scores him a 7.56. The weight's fine at 318. Gets him in the green. The explosion grade, that vertical, 21.5, scoring a 0.20. Yeah, that's just not a good look. I'm trying to find the positive there. That's ugly, boys. That's really, really ugly. Broad jump 8.04, scoring a 2.96. 40-yard dash 5.16, I think it is, scoring a 4.82. 20-yard split 2.99, scoring a 4.47, and a 10-yard split of 1.82, scoring a 3.47. So Lee Hunter at 3.72. Tim, every year we go through the draft process and we look at the RAS and, all right, was this Gutey's type? Man, there was a lot of buzz around Lee Hunter and the Packers meeting with him. I don't know, man. This might disqualify him from the Packers potentially drafting him, right?
I was going to say, I mean, hopefully Gutey didn't, look at this graphic here and see the RAS score. And yeah, hey, they call him the fridge, right? You want to eat, you got to go through him. Well, if you look at the card, that's what he's got going for him. He's tall and he's big. And I don't know, we'll see what happens.
We're trying to stay positive. You can
trying because we need help up there in the trenches, but you can't just be big, right? You got to be more than big.
Glad we covered it this morning, right? Good timing.
Yeah, great timing, right? Great time. We were gushing over him earlier. Oh yeah, let me tell you. Now we're like, let's just go ahead and eliminate that scouting.
Yeah.
Who knows though, man? You never know. And again, maybe he'll have a chance to redeem himself at a pro day, and this kind of gets wiped clean a little bit, right? I personally like to prefer the combine numbers over pro days because I just think some funky stuff happens behind the scenes at those pro days. I can't help but wonder, are they fudging numbers? And I don't know all the ins and outs of who's running the laser, and I'm sure they've got it monitored really heavily. But if you ask me, which would you prefer, the pro day numbers or the combine numbers? I want the combine numbers because Tim, they're kind of
got like an official apparatus at the combine, right?
Yeah,
you could have your buddy running the stopwatch during the 40 at your pro day.
It could be, and also the level of competition. There's a bit of pressure too, right, Emilio? When you're at the combine and everybody's it's not like, all right, this is our home field turf. There's the landscaping guy that's always working on the field. What's up, Joey? All that. It's just like they run you through like cattle in there, right? Put you in your underwear and go, all right, go out there and show us what you can do. So
absolutely, that's Caleb Proctor to a T right there. You show up when the lights are brightest, man. Yep. Especially coming from a small school, you got to be able to do that.
Absolutely. Billy in the house over here on YouTube says Lee is probably wishing he'd opted out of the drill. And this is what we're talking about, right, Billy? Like, it's easy for us to go, I'd rather compete, and I'm as guilty as anyone having that attitude. But this is why some of these guys choose not to do it. You can really, really cost yourself a lot of money. So it sucks to see it happen for some of these players. Yep. Next, you got Bryson Eason. Let's talk about a positive one here. Looking pretty good. 8.26 out of Tennessee. 6'2", that's in the red, but 323 is in the green. A composite explosion grade ended up being great with a 30.5-inch vertical, scoring a 7.65. The broad jump at 9.04, scoring a 8.85 there. So get you a great explosion grade. And then you get a good composite speed grade, 40-yard dash of 5.09. 20-yard split of 2.93, 10-yard split of 1.78, all in the yellow. So Bryson Easton's got to be feeling pretty good about where he's at here, Emilio.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. You got to be excited, man. This is a chance for you to make some money, right? If you don't have all the tape or you're not getting all the reps, something like that, and you can show up at this, perfect. Yeah, you can't get taller, that's fine. If you needed to put on more weight, do it, but make sure you run fast, make sure you run good, and he did. I'm happy for him.
Yeah, he actually showed up a little bigger than PFF had him at 315, so 323, well over 6 foot. So he's big and he's got some better composite grades, right?
Yeah, definitely. So there's Bryson Eason out of Tennessee. Moving on to Cameron Ball, another 8.26 here. And notice there's no bench press yet. To the best of my knowledge, that's going to be tomorrow. They're going to do their bench press, right? So someone like Lee Hunter might go out there and throw up 42 reps and go, okay, now it makes sense, right? Let's hope that happens. Mm-hmm. But again, he's got long arms, if I remember correctly, and typically long arms, you won't have as many bench reps, right? So that's going to be.
Wait, are we wanting to put these RSs in? Are they official now?
No, This is the toughest part of the whole board process for me, Emilio. I want to put them in so bad, but they're still unofficial.
Okay.
And they're still, some of these are going to end up being incomplete anyway. Yep. But it's tough because I don't even know the perfect date to put it in because there's constantly, adjusting going on and things like that. So we need to give it a little time. And that's why I wanted to reference them today. So we're kind of taking our first glance at where these people are following. But yeah, thank you for asking that for sure. Cameron Ball out of Arkansas, 8.26. He's 6'3", 310 pounds, scored in the sevens on both of those. The explosion grade was great. The vertical jump was 32 inches. That's in the green. You get the broad jump at 9.01. That puts you in the yellow. The 40-yard dash, 5.11 or 5.11, I should say. 20-yard split, 2.97. 10-yard split of 1.79. That's in the yellow, red there. He scores an 8.26. So obviously the explosion grade is going to help him out a lot. I hate to keep going back to Lee Hunter, but if Lee Hunter had a great explosion grade, I could care less about the 40-yard dash, right? You feel a lot better about like, okay, this guy's going to be just fine. But the fact that everything was so poorly measured, it just sucks. So there's Cameron Ball, defensive tackle out of Arkansas. Let's see if there's any more here. Chris McClellan, I should say, 8'4", so he's in the green on size, 6'4", 313. Obviously, probably got pretty good reach. I can't remember what his arm length is. Do you remember what McClellan's arm length was, Amelia? I know we put some of that in earlier, didn't we? You may have it. Explosion grade is good. 29.5 on vertical, 9.00 on the broad jump. Those are, like I said, it measures out good. They're both in the yellow. And then composite speed grade, 5.05, 20-yard split, 2.92, 10-yard split, 1.90. So that's yellow, red there.
I did get Gracen 6'4", 313, 34-inch arms.
Yeah. That's going to help him a lot, right? That's definitely going to help him.
What was his 40?
His 40-yard dash, 5.05 was his 40-yard dash. So
yeah, and 10-yard split, something to be desired. But I mean,
Yeah.
looking at his 2025 numbers, at Mizzou, looks good, man. This is a guy that's always available. 78.2 PFF grade. Somebody to keep an eye on for sure.
Tim, where's PFF got him?
On their big
On their
board,
big board,
127.
Crazy.
Yeah.
When we put it in on our board, 227.
see,
Yep.
I'm so sick of PFL. Give me a unbelievable. Tim, we've noticed they're changing grades now.
Well,
Like,
you
they're
got to
literally-
multitask when you're driving Uber, and
I mean, come
Staring
on.
with your knee over there, right?
Got the computer right there, got the little setup.
Unbelievable.
Just
Nick
the
Barrett.
tip, though.
Nick Barrett helped himself today. Defensive tackle out of South Carolina. 8.65 is the early RAS. 6'3", 312. That checks out pretty well. Composite explosion grade ended up being good with a 31.5-inch vertical. 900 on the broad jump. And then 40-yard dash, 511. 20-yard split, 297. 10-yard split, 170. That's yellow, green right there. 10-yard split looking good for Nick Barrett. He helped himself today. Where do we have him on the board? Anybody got any idea there with Nick Barrett?
he's 311 on PFF. I'm not
On
sure.
our board, 178
See,
with
there we go.
6'3", 328, 33 and 3/8 arms.
And no
Nice.
red on that RAS card. I
None.
love it.
That's right. That's right. If you guys would take a quick second, smash that like button for us. We appreciate y'all hanging out for the Combine Week festivities. Albert Regas, 910 defensive tackle out of Texas A&M, crushed it today, even in spite of the height being 6'1", the weight being 295, both giving him red there on the composite size grade. Man, the explosion grade, 34-inch vertical, broad jump of 908. That's green across the board. The 40-yard dash of 488. That's a 941 grade. 20-yard split, 282. 10-yard split, 173. So his composite speed grade is great. The explosion grade is elite. Just a little bit undersized. Emilio, what is Albert Regas' arm length? Do we have a measurement on the arm
I
length?
do not have his measurement on arm length.
I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to bounce back to – I'm going to keep this up on the screen, but I'm going to go back to Albert Regas. Click on this. You may hear a noise because they automatically play a video, which they wouldn't do that. Sorry about that. All right. Thank you, Rich Eisen. Arms are 31 5/8, Emilio. 31 5/8. The hand is 9 5/8.
Okay.
So that's where he's at. So again, Albert Regas, the RAS overall looks good, Tim, but definitely undersized, right?
Yeah, undersized a little bit. But again, Mr. Availability. It looks like he's missed like 1 or 2 games in the last, 3 or 4 years here. And, grading according to PFS 72.5, I believe. So yeah, I mean, what can you do? You can't make yourself taller, right? You can maybe stretch your arms out, try and get another ½ inch either direction. And, you can always add some weight, but when you look at the 40 and you look at the explosion grade, that's something, in the green. So, I wouldn't write him off completely yet.
Yeah. And we got 40 times flying in for the edge defenders. David Bailey, one of our top prospects, 4.51 40-yard dash.
That's your kin over there, Clayton?
What's that?
That's your kin over there?
No, we look a little different, Tim. I don't think we're close. He looks like a dark-skinned Greek god, and I'm a pale, fat, white guy. You know what I'm saying? So it's funny how that works. Not so cool says, did we pass Christian Miller? There's going to be a lot of people that ask about Christian Miller, right? Not so cool. He chose not to run the 40 today. I think I haven't seen anything on him, as a matter of fact. So I don't think he has participated in anything. Probably feels like he's going to hurt his stock, if anything. I hate it. Don't get me wrong. But when you see what happened to Lee Hunter, as obviously Eric Sutherland said, Lee Hunter just helped my stock. So that's the pros and cons of doing it, right? So you got to be careful with that stuff. But yeah, that's why you haven't heard Christian Miller yet. Next, you got Zane Durant, defensive tackle out of Penn State, 9'2", another guy undersized, 6'1", 290 pounds. Explosion grade elite at 33.5-inch vertical, broad jump at 904. Those are both in the green, obviously landing elite. The composite speed grade, 4.76 for the 40, 277 20-yard split, 166 10-yard split, elite composite speed grade, 922 overall. Arm length, 31.8 is his arm length with 10.6-inch hands. That dude, yeah. Other than the size there, man, put another 10 pounds on him maybe, because he's going to be quick enough. It's not going to slow him down too much, right? You can't help with the height. There's nothing you can do there. Wear some heels out there. I don't know what to tell you, right? Mm-hmm. But other than that, I mean, he's done everything he can do today. There's no doubt.
Where's he on our board? Emilio, do you have our
board? We have Zane at 263.
Okay, so PFF's higher on him.
Where do they have him, Tim?
233.
Okay.
PFF did have him at 199.
Oh, so he is falling even on their board. Okay.
Wow, that's interesting. Very interesting. Cool. All right, moving along. My boy Caleb Proctor. Can we get a round of applause for Caleb? Give me the gong for Caleb Proctor. I need the gong for him, please, sir. Caleb Proctor, defensive tackle, Southeastern Louisiana. You always wait for it to finish. All right, 9.51. 9.51 for the RAS. His hand size 9.5 inches. The arm length 33 inches. It checks out, right, Emilio?
Here's the guy.
The composite size grade is poor. 6'2". No, I'm sorry. Yeah, is that right? Yeah, 6'2". 6'2", or is that? That ain't 6'2".
No, it's 6'2".
Is that 6'2"? Okay.
That's what I have on ours, 6'2".
Okay, cool. 6'2" flat, 291 pounds. Other than that, everything else is elite. The vertical jump, 33 inches, 9.32. Broad jump, 9.05, 9.16. That's the elite composite explosion grade. The speed grade, elite as well, 4.8040. We were showing 4.79 a second ago. Maybe they settled in at 4.80, although it does have a U, which means it's unofficial, but still a 9.79. The 20-yard split, 2.79. 10-yard split, 1.69. Man, did our boy help his stock today? This is it's exciting, man. Where's he at on our board again, Emilio? Because
he is 137 on the board right now.
He's got to be screaming up boards right now. Tim, where does PFF have Caleb Proctor currently on their big board, man?
169 on PFF.
They had him 189.
Yeah, so he's coming up.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be interesting.
86.5 grade in 2025, 13-game season, monster.
What if this guy's hanging around in the 4th or 5th round and you're able to nab him? How cool would that be, dude? We'll be over the moon live covering the draft, won't we? If somehow, some way he falls in the Packers' lap.
Absolutely.
All right, so there you go. Gracen Halton had an even better day, though. Defensive tackle out of Oklahoma, 9.70, 6'2.5", it looks like here on the height. The weight, 293. That's the only red on his RAS card so far. Composite explosion grade elite at 36.5-inch vertical, 9.95. Broad jump, a 9.06 for a 9.33. 40-yard dash, 4.83, scoring a 9.72. 20-yard split, a 2.83, scoring a 9.06. 10-yard split, 1.70, scoring an 8.89. So his RAS so far, 9.70. The problem, though, the hands are good, 10-inch hands, right? But the arm length, 31.1, Emilio. That's tough, right? Where's he at on our board? Gracen Halton out of Oklahoma.
He is 2 spots above our boy Caleb Proctor. He's 135.
Wow.
But with both of them performing the way they did, and if those RAS stick, they're both going to climb up probably into the 120s-ish, depending on how everybody else does. But, yeah, it's I think he's – from all the numbers we've looked at so far, he probably made himself the most amount of money today.
Yeah, I think so too, man. Now, here's the question. You have to choose between Gracen Halton or Caleb Proctor.
Caleb Proctor.
Going Caleb Proctor. What about you, Emilio? Is it close enough to because, Tim, I want to say Caleb Proctor like you. My thought immediately goes to Oklahoma played a much tougher schedule, right, being in the SEC, but it's like, do you like the player or not, right? To your defense there, you like Caleb Proctor, you run with it, right? So what do you think, Emilio? What if you had to choose between those two, who you taking, man?
Yeah, at the moment, right this second, I still think I would take Halton, but I liked him because we already know the Packers met with Proctor. We already know that at this point he's hitting those measurables. They're not too worried about – I mean, there's 2 pounds of difference in between Halton and Proctor, basically the same height. But Halton has shorter arms, Tim, so you could really be onto something with that. And you saw how explosive it was. It's one of those you'd have to go back and watch the tape. And you didn't know? Don't look up Caleb Proctor's number. Don't look up anything. Look up a couple Southeastern Louisiana games and watch him. Does he fly off the tape at you? Okay, cool. Then and that would maybe that does sell you. Maybe that's it. But that'd be a tough cluster buster to break up those two.
Yeah, I mean, just looking player for player, you're right. They're pretty comparable, right?
Yeah, because like
rated very similar, but like to Clayton's point, I mean, you got a guy that played for the Sooners,
right.
So
and Proctor, like you said, Tim, was 84 and 24 and was 8th and 25. Halton was 120 and 24 and 17th and 25.
Yep.
And they're similar. They both had a little bit worse, got better each year. That's a tough one.
Yeah, and it's interesting too, Tim, because if we had a cluster buster there for me, honestly, it comes down to strength of schedule, like with the opponents they played, but that arm length, dude, that's a significant increase. You're talking about 31.1, and Caleb Proctor's over 33, right? So I mean, I could totally be talked into taking Caleb Proctor. As a matter of fact, I think mine would probably be Caleb Proctor once you kind of point out the arm length there, because we know it's big on Gutey. What's that?
I said you talked him into it, Tim. Nice.
There you go. So, all right, moving along. David Gusta, 975. Look at this Kentucky guy. Right? I wish he could have done that on Saturdays. Jeez, Pete, bub. My gosh, did we suck this year. 975. The height, 6'2", scoring a 4.83. Weight, 308, scoring a 7.41. Vertical of 9.64, I think it is. That's in the green there, 32-inch vertical. No broad jump, so I don't like that. That's kind of left, out there in the fold. 40-yard dash, 4.88, scoring a 9. 20-yard split, 2.82, scoring a 9. 10-yard split, 1.68, scoring a 9. So he finishes at 9.75. Shorter arms, 31.1-inch arms. Big hands, but David Goose is going to be one of those late round guys too, right? Like he is way down our board, I'm pretty sure. Am I thinking right, Emilio? Where's David Goose at?
He's down there, not actually too far, honestly. He's 166.
Wow.
Behind Rashawn Benny, so not terrible, and 30 behind Proctor and Halton. So
that's a huge gap between our board and PFF. Big Board's got him at 376 right now.
Ooh, what did we have on ours for the PFF?
It was missing, Clayton. It was missing. So his consensus was a 291. What did you say it was, Tim? I'll add it in right now.
PFF's got him at 376 right now.
Okay, see you later, David Halton or David Gusta. Sorry, buddy. 197 is his final. Let me just resort real fast. And
in the 200s.
266. He dropped 100 spots.
That's kind of where I was expecting him at, but I don't want to sit here and pretend like I knew that he had a low PFF ranking. But I was thinking he was kind of undrafted territory, right?
Yeah,
so that's really, really interesting. Thank y'all. See, this is why we love doing these live shows and stuff and kind of troubleshooting everything, because you get more information for the board. We got to fly through these last few. We're way over on time. Caleb Banks, defensive tackle out of Florida. Again, we've got Caleb Banks on our cheat sheet as the second best defensive tackle. 9.84 is the RAS, 6'6". 327 pounds, 35-inch arms, damn near 11-inch hands, vertical jump of 32 inches, broad jump of 906.
He's a grown-ass man now. And
a 40-yard dash of 505, 20-yard split, 292, 10-yard split, 176. So you got elite size. You've got crazy elite arm length, right? Elite composite explosion grade and a good speed grade for somebody who's 6'6", 327. Caleb Banks just made himself some money to enable us. There ain't no doubt about it. I could care less about the agility drills. I've seen enough. You know what I mean? Now, will the Packers have a snowball's chance in hell of drafting him? No. He's going to be long gone before we even sniff a draft pick. But very, very interesting there.
You'd have to go up to get him, and we can't possibly go up high enough to grab him anyway, right?
All right. Exactly. Next. DeMonte Capehart, 997 is the official RAS. Obviously played for Clemson. 6'5", 313, 33.8-inch arms, 10.25-inch hands. Vertical jump, 33.5 inches in the green. Broad jump, 811 in the yellow. So he's got a great explosion grade, great composite size grade, elite composite speed grade, 40-yard dash of 485, 20-yard split, 281, 10-yard split, 172. DeMonte Capehart helped himself today. We don't have him in our top 100. Where's he at on our board, Emilio? DeMonte Capehart.
228. East-West Shrine game. PFF had him 165. Consensus had him 134. But his grades for PFF were in the 200s. Tankathon did have him at 168, though.
He's down on PFF, 189 on PFF right now.
Got it. Good stuff. Appreciate that information. If you guys would take a quick second, smash that like button for us. We greatly appreciate it. I believe that's got us pretty much caught up. Yeah, we're kind of cycling back through now with the other RASs. So if you guys are watching this video back later, let us know in the comments, what do you think about the RAS scores for these defensive tackles? Who did you like? Which of these do you feel like maybe had a low score? Maybe you look at Lee Hunter and go, I could care less about the RAS. Watch the tape. Maybe that's how you feel. Let us know in the comments. Hit that like button for us. Hit subscribe. Click the bell icon as well. All right, let's move along now, boys. Actually, we could probably go ahead and wrap up unless y'all just want to end talking a little RAS update or 40-yard dash update, I should say, with the edge defenders. Do y'all want to hit that, or you just want to wrap it up right there? What do y'all think? I'm good either way.
Tell me, Tim. I'm good either way, too.
Me too. Let's go.
We can look at a couple 40s. Well, let's get the check. Right, 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Let's take a quick gander here as the times are starting to roll in. So edge defenders, right? Edge defenders are now running the 40-yard dash as we speak. At the top of the list, no surprise, David Bailey. Remember, Reuben Bain decided he was not going to run the 40, wasn't going to perform today at the combine, right? David Bailey said, I'll go out there. 4.51 out of Texas Tech. I mean, that is crazy fast. Next is Malachi Lawrence out of UCF at a 4.53. Trey Moore out of Texas, 4.55. Cassius Howell out of Texas A&M, 4.60. Danny Dennis Sutton, 4.64. Does that not sound like a NASCAR driver? Danny Dennis Sutton. Danny Dennis Sutton in the O'Reilly's number 8 car.
Who, me?
Who, me? I can't get enough of those videos, by the way. Romello Hyatt, 4.64. Jashawn Barham, 4.65. George Gums Jr., 4.70. Quintavious Hutchins, 4.74. Marvin Jones Jr., 4.74. Vinny Anthony out of Duke, 4.85. Max Llewellyn, 4.85. And then Najalik Kelly out of UCF at a 4.91. So David Bailey's still in the show here, boys, and he is at the top of our board, right, Emilio? What is his grade? David Bailey. He's at the very top.
He is, yeah, absolutely at the top. He's actually our number 1 prospect. Total score right now of a 2.1. With that kind of speed and stuff, you give him I mean, he'll probably be sitting around -3, roughly.
Yeah, I'm going to look this up real quick. Billy in the house here. Read that for me, Tim, while I look this up.
Billy says, out of curiosity, anybody know Parsons' 40 time?
I could have swore he was
Micah's combine 40 time.
Something. I thought it was like a 4.47 or something like that.
What do you think it is, Tim? I've got it right.
I know it's sub 4.5. I know that.
It's 4.39. Woo! Micah Parsons ran a 4.340, boys.
Mama, there goes that man.
There he goes. God, I'm glad he's a Packer, man. It's so freaking cool. Let's see if we can adjust it to the 10-yard split. Let's see who's got the quickness off the ball. Malachi Lawrence takes it. So David Bailey, a little more long speed, right, at 1.72 on down the list a little bit. Malachi Lawrence has got that quick twitch out of UCF. He's helped himself today, 1.58. Cassius Howell, 1.59. Trey Moore, 1.60. Deshaun Barham, 1.61. Like I said, David Bailey, 1.62, tied with TJ Parker out of Clemson with 1.62. Dennis Sutton, 1.64. Romello Hyatt, 1.64. Vinny Anthony, 1.66. Max Llewellyn, 1.67. Marvin Jones, 1.69. George Gums Jr., 1.70. Najalik Kelly, 1.70. LT Overton from Alabama, 1.71. And then Quintavious Hutchins at a 1.73. So when it comes to the 10-yard split, Malachi Lawrence steals the day. Emilio, where's Malachi Lawrence on the board? I haven't even heard that name, I don't think. And Tim, if you'll look him up too on PFF for see where he's currently at. That's Malachi Lawrence, edge defender out of UCF.
Malachi Lawrence, we have our boy 1 spot behind Dante Corleone at 1.11.
Okay.
A dog looks like Tankathon had him 105. Dane Brugler had him 93rd.
174 on PFF right now.
He was 148.
Okay.
Got it.
So he dropped a little bit.
Got him shifting a little.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm trying to jot these down, man. I'm going to take a few notes here. I apologize, but 40 time. All right. Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see. Have they done anything else? It's probably just 40 times at this point, right? Nope, we got verticals going in. Now, look, George Gums Jr. said, I know I might not be the quickest boy, but 41 inches. On the vertical, Lord have mercy. And look who it
Wow.
is. Explosion grade, Malachi Lawrence, another name we're seeing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mason Reiger from Wisconsin coming in at 40 inches. Let's freaking go. The Packers met with him, too.
I was going to say, didn't they meet with him?
They did. And he was the one that balled out. What was it, the East-West Shrine Bowl that he balled out?
He got him for a -8 on there. We have him 224 on the board.
Yeah, Mason Reiger dominated during the week of practice, and he ended up winning Defensive Player of the Game as well. So Mason Reiger's really helped himself this offseason. But it tells me when you got a player that goes out there in the All-Star game, all the scouts are in the stands, and you play your best, and then you go out here with all the lights on, when it comes to the combine, and you throw out a 40-inch vertical jump. This dude performed well under pressure, Tim. It's exciting coming out of Wisconsin. Somebody going to get a good football player there, man.
He didn't play in 2024. So last year, 12 games, graded in the 80s. PFF's got an 82.4 PFF grade.
Yep.
So, white man can jump, apparently. 40-inch vertical. We'll take it.
Not this white guy, though. Right?
And Tim, he was solid. Looks like in 23, we had an 89th overall edge. So that's only helping his grade. Where's the big board have him right now?
PFF has Mason Reiger at 271. Oh, my goodness.
Okay, so they had him at 244. So I think you're right. I think he's going to make some money here.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, somebody's gonna draft him. There's no doubt about it. Diggsy in the chat said 3 sacks in that game. I think he was talking about the East-West Shrine Bowl, right, where he had those 3 sacks. So just absolutely dominated. Appreciate that information. And Bates did confirm that.
His money.
Bates did confirm that was a 4.39 for Micah Parsons there. So
do we have any linebacker numbers, or is it only edges, Clay?
Stack backers, I think, are tomorrow, right? Am I thinking?
Oh, okay. That? I thought it was D-line and linebackers running today.
Let's check here. Let's just take it. You may be right. I'm wrong. No, you're right. Linebackers. So we may be getting some
up now, right?
Okay, you might be right, Tim. It might be right after the edges. They might be running.
Yeah,
could be.
I just want to see my boy Red. I just want to see my boy. I don't care about any other linebackers. You could draft Tyler, whoever you want. The Rodriguez dude, whatever.
They said he's not running, Emilio. He slipped.
Yeah, of course. Why would he?
I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
Danny Dennis Sutton, 39.5-inch vertical. Romello Hyatt, 39-inch vertical. Trey Moore, 38.5. Quintavious Hutchins, 37-inch. Najalik Kelly, 37-inch. Wesley Williams, 35.5. David Bailey, 35 inches. Does that bother you guys? Does the explosion grade go down a little bit for David Bailey here? I mean, that's I don't know, what, 8th or 9th on the list, something like that, 7th or 8th, something. What do you think? How do y'all feel about that? Will we be overly concerned when the tape's off the charts, the 40-yard dash is off the charts, the 10-yard splits off the chart? You know what I'm saying? Like, how concerned would you be with the vertical?
I'm not. I mean, David Bailey might be the best edge rusher in this draft class. I mean, that might be a little hyperbolic, but I mean, he's certainly up there, Yeah,
I mean, he's in the 30s, Tim. Halfway up the 30s. I'm fine with it. 10-yard split, I feel like, is one more I would put more weight on.
Yep.
Yeah, I can see that.
And then the vertical, hey, a couple more calf races in the gym, add another half-inch. We'll be good.
Pile boxes and all that. We'll be good.
Let's go.
We got broad jumps in. We got some broad jumps. Danny Dennis Sutton, 10'11". Jeez, Pete. That's crazy. Malachi Lawrence, 10'10".
He is.
Bro, all over the place. All over the joint. David Bailey, 10'9". There you go. Romello Hyatt, 10'5". Mason Reiger, 10'5", tied for 4th. Let's go. Vinny Anthony Jr., 10'3", along with Jashawn Borum at 10'3". George Gums Jr., 10'1". Trey Moore, 10 flat, along with T.J. Parker, Wesley Williams as well. You got Najalik Kelly and Nadami Tucker at 9'11". Kedrick Falk, 9'9". Cassius Howe, 9'7", and Max Llewellyn, 9'7". Max Llewellyn, man, there's only 2 white boys in this group, and Max Llewellyn. Mason Reiger's got to be looking out at Max Llewellyn. Come on, Bob. We got to do better than this. What are we doing? So, no great white hope in this draft, it looks like, boys. There's no, what's his name, Cooper DeJean walking through that door to save us, right? Ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, Max Llewellyn, though, 206 on our board. He's not going to go any higher, that's for sure.
Yeah. Not so cool says we have to do linebackers. PTA got to do overtime. And y'all trying to get me divorced, bro. Trying to get me divorced.
Clay is just casually just not clicking on the linebackers. He just doesn't want to see Red up there. That's fine.
All right, let's do it. Let's see what
Clay's over there like.
Put that name in my mouth right there.
Oh,
you can see.
Got to be later.
Yeah. Look, no 40-yard dash. There's no data for the linebackers yet, gentlemen, okay? People are like, I know those are screen grabs. So there you go. There's the edge defenders and how they shake out. And most of those are going to be their first run. It looks like they're still running right now. Like, here's David Bailey. We'll give you live action here. All right. David Bailey, live 40-yard dash, second time through. His first time was a 4.51. My man's getting ready. He's focused. He's shredded too, man. This kid looks like a monster. So David Bailey, thinking it through, getting set. Got some beautiful cleats on. Looks like they're kind of a burnt orange, maybe a little yellow, pink check.
Yeah, those are fresh.
Looking good. There's some old Caucasian dude staring there with the whistle waiting for him to get set, right? Bunch of people acting like they know what the hell is going on. We know that's not the case. He's still thinking about it. This looks like me when I get ready to take the trash out on Monday nights. All right. He's set. Clean release. Here we go. Second run for David Bailey, 4.54. That checks out pretty good, boys. That checks out pretty good.
Heard it from a fan right here.
4.51 is the best time, but 4.54 is kind of like, okay, if it's somewhere between 4.51 and 4.54, we are feeling good about this. So there you go. All right. That's it. We're getting out of here before I get divorced. Anything else, boys, that y'all want to hit? We're going to hit Caleb Proctor. We may do that tomorrow. So that's all right.
No. And the fact that David Bailey, his swag game is just jersey on, no armbands, no gloves.
Right.
That is ice. That is tough.
You see his shoulders? His shoulders look like bowling balls, bro. Like, he's a. Oh no,
He is a G.
Jashawn Barham just ran and he pulled up a little bit at the end there, grabbing his hammy.
Oh,
that ain't good.
And now we know why guys don't want to run.
Yeah, he still had a 4.66. He ran a 4.65 the first time. Got a 4.66 right there, but he did look like he tweaked the hammy a little bit. So, all right. There you go, guys. Just a little live update on the combine. What we're going to do tomorrow, I'm going to make a note here. I'll probably forget, but in the morning, we should have the linebacker numbers, right? So we'll kind of revisit that and talk about the linebacker 40-yard dash and all that. We'll try to reset tomorrow evening and get ourselves ready to, I guess, what are the drills tomorrow, man? What do we got to look forward to here tomorrow as I cover up your all's handsome faces here? We got what do we got? Measurements and on-field workout for DBs and tight ends tomorrow. Can you say cozy? Yeah. Excited about it, man. It's going to be fun. So that's it, guys. Hit that like button for us. Hit subscribe. Click the bell icon. Really appreciate everybody jumping in here on the fly. We had the usual suspects in the chat. You guys and gals are absolutely awesome. So thank y'all so much for making us part of your evening. We'll be back in the morning. Probably somewhere around 8 a.m. Central, maybe 8:45 Central. Depends on when your boy gets out of bed here. And we'll jump in and we'll talk stack backers in the morning. So, Tim, Emilio, appreciate y'all's time. Anything else y'all want to hit, man?
No, it's good. I'm excited for some more numbers to come in.
Let's go. Combine week, baby. Let's go.
Right. Not so cool roasting everybody. Said, damn, man, 17 likes. What's going on in here?
Oh, no.
If y'all would hit that like button for us on the way out, we greatly appreciate it. Let's do it this way. If this show sucks, hit the like button, okay? Let us know how bad it was.
And if it doesn't, sub. Thank you.
Oh, that's perfect. Look at that. That's why you get paid the big bucks. All right, everybody have a great night. My name's Clayton. This is PTA. Go Pack, go.
Here we go.
We're out. Bye, guys.